I guess, like, how would you do that, like, in light of all these things happening? Just kind of, like, push through, or?
Um, yeah, I was determined to get better. I knew at that point with a lot of the health issues, I wasn't, at that point, I didn't know what was going on yet. When I was breaking out on all those rashes and my eyes were swelling, like you should see some of these photos. Um, I
Yeah.
I documented everything because it was like I knew this was happening. I was determined to figure it out, and I was determined to not let it um, take away my life.
Yeah.
Although there was a breakdown moment that I did have. I traveled to Maine with my with my ex boyfriend, and we were visiting like his family out at a cabin, and flying became difficult. My body would swell up in airplanes. I was so sick, and I remember like trying to pretend to be normal around his family, and this was probably the summer of 2014, maybe even, yeah, maybe even 2013. But I remember we were driving back and it was late at night, and we had to take a flight really early in the morning, and I didn't sleep all night long, and I was so sick, and I remember being like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. Like, I'm sick. No one's helping me. No one, like, can see what's happening. Like, I can't. I'm like, I don't think I can fly. I don't think I can go back to Bellingham. I don't think I can make it. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's hard to walk. It's hard to do any, like, I'm like, I don't know. And it was a mental, like, just breakdown. And he was like, well, you're the same person that I thought you were. Like, and even he was kind of having these denial issues. And I was just like, I literally didn't think I'd be able to make it back to Bellingham, um, but I did, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to get to the bottom of it, and I wanted to fix the problem, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing that really kept me going, is that I just wanted to be better. I wanted to be a normal human again, and as you know, we never are normal humans um, ever again after Lyme.
How are you doing now?
So now I like to say that I am in remission now.
I love
I
that.
am literally just taking thyroid medication. So I'm
Uh,
even off. I was actually on ketotofen, which is another mast cell stabilizer, for a while too. I got off that. Um, I am doing really well, but I always say that environment plays a huge part in Lyme disease and making people feel
yeah.
sick or feel better. Your environment can make or break your day, basically. I still have eye issues. I'd say my eye problems are number one. I can see fine. I have good vision, but I have constant redness and irritation, and just,
Really?
yeah, my eyes are just a mess. But again, I think that's environmental. I think it has to do with chemicals, um, and even
Uh-huh.
maybe the microbiome of the eye, which I've been learning about as well, which is really interesting.
Oh,
But overall, that fog has lifted. I can function. I can read. I'm going back to school in just a few weeks. I'm back to, like the chronic um, illness community always says, you have an amount of spoons that you can use up in a day.
yeah.
I don't really have to think about that anymore. I do to some extent,
That's so
but
great.
yeah, I'm really,
Happy to hear that.
what's that?
Uh, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
um, so you mentioned just environmental sensitivities. I'm curious, like, the mold seems to have been a big thing for you. Um, did you notice any other environmental triggers that were like particularly bad that affected your symptoms?
um, yeah, mold, chemicals, VOCs. I moved into this amazing, cute little studio that's um, an old historic building, and I was really worried about it having mold because almost every place I've lived has had mold.
Yeah.
And this one has like cement walls, and I moved in here in December, and it was clean and I felt good. And then I bought a couch, and the couch had some like VOCs and the off gassing. So like any kind of off gassing from furniture, mattresses, pillows, blankets, like you really have to be careful with, for me, like any kind of chemicals, makeup, uh, just
Wow.
yeah, any kind of ingredients. I am like so sensitive now that I am realizing that that just now I think what happened is now that I'm healthy, I can tell even more what's bothering me. It's like I got a mascara that I thought was fairly natural, and it was really irritating my eyes, like the tiny little things. But
Me too, actually. I've actually, it's interesting hearing you talk about eye problems because I've had a lot of that as well.
mhm.
And it's just hard to figure out why and like what's causing it. Like I used to wear contacts all the time and now I can't
Yeah.
put them in.
Yeah, we could probably have another conversation about eyes, cuz that's been my biggest issue, and I'm like again determined to get back to having some normal eyes. Um
Yeah.
but also, let's see, like perfumes that people wear. I went to the movie theater, and this lady had so much perfume on, I thought I was gonna die. Like those types of things.
What do you experience when you're exposed to that? Like what were you feeling in terms of symptoms?
I actually get a physical reaction. I get pain in my mid to upper thoracic. It's kind of my area. If I walk into a home that has toxic mold, I will just like almost have excruciating pain that knocks me on my floor if I'm in there. Say I sleep there overnight. I'll wake up, if I'm able to sleep at all, I'll wake up in massive pain in my mid thoracic area, and that's a big sign for me that there's something wrong. And
Wow, so you can tolerate it away almost.
yeah, and
That's cool.
and plus like not having the right detox pathways. You have a lot of, when you get really ill with Lyme, you have a lot of genetic defects. And so you probably know of the MTHFR genetic mutation.
I don't know actually the specific one.
So that's kind of like a detox one. A lot of people with Lyme disease have it, and the problem,
What is it called again? Sorry.
it's MTHFR genetic mutation.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that.
Yeah. And so that is also a problem when say I walk into a invisible moldy place. If my genetic pathways, detox pathways are not working 100%, that's going to build up in my body, and that's probably why I have the physical response I do. So I really try to treat that, as much as I can. So I'm on supplements for that. And then I also have, besides the pain, I have like eye symptoms will happen right away if I'm exposed to anything bad. And I get headaches, and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So having these sensitivities and like you were saying, even like around people who like wear perfumes or things that you can't control, does that like deter you from going to certain places? Like are you less inclined to like go to like crowded places or places where there are a lot of people?
Unfortunately, yes. Since I went to the movie theater and had that woman, wearing that perfume, I have not been back since, and it's probably been about 2 years.
Wow.
So I kind of set myself up for it, and I'm like, a lot of people, I hang around with are fairly healthy, environmentally, aware of chemicals, but when you do get yourself in situations where you're going to a wedding and there's going to be tons of perfume, I kind of prepare myself, and maybe I might take like a mast cell medication before I go, or I try to be aware of it. I try not to let it deter me from going, Especially if it's a fun social event. But something like the movies, I hate going to movies anyways. So, but it does make you more prone